feel for the difference between the county and the city of Moriarty zoning issues.
Okay,
Right.
good. Thank you very much. Okay, so we will now go to item number 4, policy establishing criteria for applications to reconsider commission action. This has been on our agenda for several meetings now. It was brought to us at the last meeting for us to review, which we did. We did not want to make any motions at that time in order to make sure that each and every one that had any concern in regards to that particular document would be able to be heard. So since we did give everybody that opportunity, tonight is the evening that we will consider making a motion to adopt that or to not adopt it. So that is where we stand on item number 4. So with that, I will ask for a motion for approval in regards to application to reconsider commission action.
I'll make the motion that we approve the application for reconsider.
Okay, there's a motion on the table. Is there a second? I will second that motion. Is there any discussion? Okay. Again, we have opened this up every time for public comment, and I don't want to not allow for that this evening. So if there's anyone that did want to discuss it again, there is a motion and a second on the table. You would have 1 minute per person to do so if there was anyone present that wanted to discuss it this evening. Anyone? Ms. Wilson?
I appeared before you on June the 22nd, Mary Wilson, is my name, and recited a number of issues that I saw as flaws in the draft policy. So I was rather chagrined to see that none of those considerations were addressed in the most recent draft. It still contains the same flaws. It still contains no real standards by which requests for reconsideration would be considered. It gives nothing to either the commission as far as standards that they should look at in determining when to reconsider something. It gives nothing to members of the public who might want to request that something be reconsidered. It really gives no standards whatsoever. I do have a written statement with some examples of other rules of reconsideration in different locales. And frankly, I suggest very strongly that this matter be tabled and that it have a very good and rigorous legal review so that you do not adopt something that is sort of a futile kind of a policy. One of the flaws that I see in the document, obviously we all know that this came up as a result of a request for reconsideration of the Manzano gun case application for special use. And I would request if this policy on the rules for reconsideration is adopted this evening, that certainly with respect to that particular request for reconsideration and all others that might ever be brought before you, that you at least give 15 days notice to the public of when a request has been made, so that the public has an ample opportunity to come and provide input to you. I can see a scenario where someone files a request for reconsideration on the Thursday before your following meeting, since the county offices are not open on Friday. It is very likely that members of the public wouldn't even know about that until Monday to get a copy of what's been submitted. We might see it on your agenda that it's going to be taken up at your meeting, but we wouldn't have a copy in order to know what we're to respond to and what the rationale is for moving to reconsider. So I would request that at least 15 days notice be available to the public after someone has submitted a request, so that the public has an opportunity to see that request and properly prepare. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. Okay, Dennis, in regards to the notice, we did talk about that at the last meeting. And we talked about that being handled administratively to ensure that everyone would be notified. Do you have a response to that?
Not really anything in addition to what we've discussed previously. Is we've taken into consideration appropriate notice as required by the Open Meetings Act, and we've taken into consideration the rules of procedure for appeals. So we've tried to develop a policy that fits all of that. And so it's not that this was done without thought, and so we've taken that into consideration.
Okay, thank you, Steve.
The public notification for the commission is very similar to the public notification for the planning and zoning board, where we have to post, for the board, we have to post signs at the property a minimum of 15 days before the upcoming meeting where the action is going to be heard. With things that are coming before the commission, we do post public notice in the Mountain View Telegraph, and we make sure that that notice comes out more than 15 days before the actual commission meeting where the action item be heard. And I don't see that that would be changing.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Okay, so we have a motion and a second on the table. Seeing no one else that wishes to speak, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Are there any opposed? Okay, the motion unanimously passes. We will now go to item number 5, updates. Yes, sir.
May I make one brief statement on item 4?
Okay, go ahead.
And Jim Green, president of the Manzano Mountain Gun Club. And on behalf of the Manzano Mountain Gun Club, we want to applaud your decision to establish a reasonable and fair appeal process while the Manzano Mountain Gun Club intends to pursue all legal avenues available to us. We believe this process will help all the parties in the future. For the record, the Manzano Mountain Gun Club will proceed with its new appeal process voted on tonight, and we will adhere to the requirements mandated in your process.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Green.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, we will now go to item number 5 under department requests and reports updates. Who would like to be the first to give an update? Tracy.
Hi, the only update I have for you tonight, some of you are already aware, but wanted to let you know that we received word, or I received notice on Monday that our teen court coordinator, Lori Lemoyne, who has been with the program for 5 years and 3 months, will be resigning her position in approximately 30 days. She has done an absolutely wonderful job, and it's going to be very difficult to fill that position. I just wanted to make sure you were aware of it.
Okay, thank you, Tracy. Tyler?
Commissioners, we are settled in our new offices and we are up and running. And as Tracy said, the NMPC grant came through at the full $50,000, which we were kind of wondering if that was going to be cut, but it wasn't. And we were looking at our end of the month numbers, and for home visiting, we need to have approximately 65 a month, and it was 50. Even with only being open in this office for 2 weeks and really actually doing our work. So we're really pleased with that. Our car seats, we've distributed 6, which is really good, you know, because that's kind of people kind of hear about that and come in. It's not an advertised situation. And I think our fears that we might not be found, people are finding us. And when they go to the other offices out there, we have a notice up, but they're excited when they find out where we are. So those concerns have just kind of gone away, and now we're just working on marketing the programs and building our client base and just moving forward. So I want to thank you again for bringing us into the county, and Tracy and Annette and Joy for all their help, because we're constantly sticking our heads in their office asking questions. But we're learning and we're enjoying being a part of the county.
Thank you, Valerie. That's great news. Sheriff White?
As far as updates, I really don't have anything. We've been real busy. Of course, once again, we've got the June Debt program kicking off next week, so we're getting prepared for that. We have the parade going on this weekend, which we will be attending, and the officers and deputies will be walking, handing out school supplies to the kids. So that'll be a real nice experience for them. But really, other than just us being busy, we don't have no updates. But if you have any questions.
I have none. Thank you.
And thank you.
Steve or Pat?
I have a crush on
Commissioners, County Manager, really I have one announcement that I need to make, and that is that the Law Enforcement Family Appreciation Day has been moved from August 13th to August 20th because it was conflicting directly with the last day of the state fair and the parades, and the law enforcement was all involved in it. And so we have moved it 1 week. It will be at the memorial from 10 to 3. We are going out of our way to, in addition to having lots of fun things for kids and families, we also are using it as an opportunity to help our local small businesses kind of showcase their wares, so to speak. So there'll be the Old Mill Dairy, or Windmill Farm Dairy will be here, and Mr. Olander is bringing honey products. Maggie Lujan is bringing homemade crafts and jams and jellies and all the wonderful things from Tahike and Torrance, and we have photography and fabric arts, and so I think it will really be a wonderful day for everyone and accomplish many purposes. So we hope you all come and join us, and there will also be hamburgers and hot dogs and ice cream cones and good things. So.
Thank you so much, Pat.
Thank you.
Okay, is there anyone else with an update? Annette, do you have an update?
I do.
Oh, I'm sorry, Steve.
That's okay. I could do without talking anymore than that.
I'm so sorry. I got my eyes on the clock and, whoops, go ahead.
Well, I'll try to keep it short then. Well, at the August P&Z meeting then, we'll be having our election of the chair and vice chair. I've got the numbers together for what we've been bringing in for our development permits, as well as our claim of exemption, cuts, and variances. For fiscal year 11, the fourth quarter report, our April totals for development permits, which includes mobile homes and buildings and utility permits, came to $1,350. And these are new permits. They're not renewed permits. We're not counting those.
Did you say April? Did you say
Yes.
April? Is that,
Yeah, April, May, June, that's a quarter, right?
oh, so through June then, correct? April through June?
No, this is just for the month of April.
Oh, wow, okay, sorry, thank you.
Anyway, development permits are $1,350, and the conditional uses, variances, and claim of exemption plats brought in a total of $650 for an April total of $2,000. In May, development permits came to $1,450, and the claim of exemption cups and variances came to $1,050 for a grand total in May of $2,500. In June, development permits totaled $800, and cups and claims exemptions and variances came to a total of $1,860, and that's due to a 111 lot type 4 subdivision application that has been submitted. It's still in review process. Their package isn't complete yet, so that won't be going to the board for some time. So our fourth quarter totals then for development fees was $3,600. For zoning fees, it was $3,560 for a grand total of $7,160. From the third quarter for fiscal year 11 it's down $740. But in July, so far to date, our development permits have brought in a total of $1,700, and our zoning permit, our applications, I should say, not permits, $300 for a grand total so far of $2,000.
Okay. That's good to see people applying and things happening in the county, so even though we're still down, we're putting a good dent in it.
Yeah, we're getting a lot better response. You know, we've had a lot of these permits come in through zoning enforcement actions. There is still a big problem with that, especially with these salvage yard trailers that are coming in. But we're getting a handle on it. And with the help of Manufactured Housing Division and the electric company, if they don't see our permit, they're not going ahead with their inspections, and they're red tagging until we actually do see a county permit attached.
That's good partnership.
Yeah, and the same with CID for buildings.